What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod back with another video, and today I'm going to show you guys what sold on eBay over this past weekend. Now, I already dropped a video on Saturday sharing my Saturday sales only because I like to ship out items as soon as possible. So everything that sold on Saturday has already been shipped out, but between Saturday afternoon, Sunday, and a little bit of what sold this morning, I'll share all those sales with you guys today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so starting off with something small is this Skylanders Game, and this is actually for the Nintendo Wii. And I've been telling you guys lately, anything Nintendo, anything gaming related has been selling really fast for me. And this one is a super small sale. I think this one sold for either $5.99 or maybe $4.99. Whatever it was, I did the math, and after shipping and fees, I'm probably just gonna leave with about $1.75 in profit. So not a ton of money being made on this, but I actually got this game for free because it was in the Nintendo Wii that I purchased from the thrift store. And the funny thing is that also sold over this past weekend, so I'll jump into that a little later. But the reason why I wanted to make sure I listed this game in particular is only because it's practically a free game, and eBay gave us a ton of free listings if you have an eBay store. I think it was like 50,000 free listings. So if I didn't have all those free listings, items this cheap, I probably wouldn't even have listed it in my store. But since I've had so many free listings over these past few months, I've been listing stuff and I've been making maybe $2 or $3 in profit. But at the end of the day, I figure I might as well just take advantage of some of those free listings. So drop a comment, let me know if you guys are doing the same thing, if you're taking advantage of some of those free listings. But for me, I'm just trying to list all the small things that I usually would hold off on, and even though it's still small profit, I always tell you guys small profits always add up. Next up, we got two pairs of these Adidas Top Tens in the black and white colorway. One sold in a size 13 and the other one sold in a size 10.5. And I've been selling these Adidas Top Tens for a while now. These are definitely one of my best selling shoes of the year, and I know you guys can't see the stacks behind me, but I got a ton of these in the inventory, only because when I realize something is selling for a decent amount of profit and it's selling quick, I always double down and I invest heavily into it, only because that's what works best for me. And thankfully I actually have the space to hold a lot of inventory, so I'll keep you guys up to date on that because I plan on doing a lot bigger investments, bigger hauls, so I'll be keeping you guys up to date with that. But I picked these up not too long ago from the Adidas outlet, and these have been selling for me really well. Black and white colorway in these Adidas, and I think it's just a simple classic colorway that a lot of people can get behind. And I also have these in red and white, and a complete red and a little bit of white in those shoes as well. So I'll keep you updated on how those sell, but so far the black and white colorway has definitely been the best selling one. Next up, we got this Canon Powershot camera, and it wasn't brand new, but it was used, but it did have the original box and everything else that somebody that's purchasing a camera would actually need, such as of course the camera, the case, the charger, the memory card, the entire bundle. And this one I picked up for 15 bucks, and this is probably a little more than I would usually spend on electronics and stuff like that in the thrift store. Usually some of the cameras I pick up are like $4 or $5, but this one in particular, they probably knew what they had, and since it had the original box, I figured they just probably just raised the price on this one. But this camera is really good quality, 16 megapixel camera, and for the most part these type of cameras is what people use if they're on a vacation or something like that. This isn't something like the level of the quality that I would use for some of my photos or videos, but at the end of the day, this is still a really quality camera. So I sold this one for 65 bucks, and it sold within about 2 days after listing it. So if you guys got any of these older cameras, trust me, they are definitely selling. Even the older ones that use batteries, I know a lot of people use those as well. So definitely be on the lookout for some of these cameras, because I've been selling these like crazy, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't only just sell shoes. I'm still trying to venture out and sell some random stuff that I find at garage sales and thrift stores, only because it excites me and I still get hype about it. So definitely be on the lookout for some of these older cameras. And this one is kind of light, so I might be able to ship this out first class, but if not, I'll put it in a padded flat rate envelope. Next up, we got this pair of Nike Zoom Flies, and I picked up 3 pairs of these from Ross when Ross had that clearance sale, and I believe these were at $12 or $13, and it was random sizes. I think I had one in a size 6.5, 12.5, and a 14, and surprisingly all 3 pairs have sold out already. This is the last one going out, and this is the size 14, and this one didn't have a ton of profit in there. I know these were even sitting in outlets selling just around the same price, brand new in box. So for me, just getting 50 bucks for this was definitely a good amount of profit. And somebody in the comments have also asked me one time, what do I deem as good profit margins? for me, anytime that I can double up my money, that's always a great starting point. If I can get more on top, that always makes it better. But I always try to at least double up my money anytime I'm picking up stuff to resell. So that's just a rule of thumb for me at least. Next up, we got this Adidas t-shirt, and this one is actually coming from Marshalls, and I picked this up for only $4. If you guys can see that on the tag, only $4 for this one. And my wife actually picked this one out while we were in Marshalls when they first opened back up. They had a pretty big clearance section in there, and these are probably some of the best shirts that I found. And I think I picked up maybe 5 or 6 of these, and this was the last one that sold, and this one just sold for $20. So once again, not a ton of profit, but like my rule of thumb, as long as I can double up my profit, I'm always happy with that. And this shirt sold pretty quickly, so I'm going to be shipping this out first class. Next up was definitely a huge surprise to me. This is actually a coat. This is actually a pea coat from the brand Shot, and a lot of people was asking me in a few of my last live videos. If you guys didn't know, I do live videos every Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and there's really where I just kind of interact with you guys and answer whatever questions you guys may have. And in that particular live video, somebody had asked me if I still list winter stuff like coats and boots, and I tell you guys all the time, definitely list everything that you have. You don't want to sit on too many items, because especially for winter clothes, it's definitely always cold somewhere. I know for me it's kind of a crapshoot, but at the same time, I always remember that it's winter time in Australia right now, and I do ship internationally using the global shipping program, so you never know. Sometimes you might sell items, you know, internationally that might seem out of season, but for me, this one sold for $80, and I picked this one up from the thrift for I think $10. So this was a really good flip, and I wasn't expecting it to sell anytime soon, maybe at least until we got closer to the fall, but I'm glad that it sold as fast as it did. And this one will probably be going out via pirate ship, because I don't think this could fit in a padded flat rate envelope, but it is what it is. I'm still glad I'll be saving some money on shipping, and I'm just glad that this sold so fast. Next up, we got a pair of Adidas NMDs, and these are actually coming from Ross, and you guys know I love to source in Ross, and Ross actually had that clearance sale a couple months ago when they opened up, and I picked up maybe 100, maybe 150 pairs of shoes from various different Rosses in my area, and this is just one of the pairs that I picked up, and I think these were $27.99 if I'm not mistaken, and these sold for $69.99 on eBay. So this is a really good sale. These were kind of sitting for a little while because that sale was just about 2 months ago at this point, but I'm still glad that they sold, because when I was seeing these originally and they didn't have them on clearance, they were asking like 40 or 50 bucks, so that was way too much for these. But once they reduced the price, I figured I might as well take a shot on these, and they sold in a decent amount of time. So I'm going to be putting these in a padded flat rate envelope to ship these out, and I should be making some decent profit on these. Next up, we got this scanner from the brand Neat, and this is actually one of those scanners that you can pretty much put anything in, documents, receipts, cards, and anything like that, and it just scans it straight to your computer. So this is really good for the desk, and I was thinking actually holding on to this and keeping it, but once I seen the comps were as strong as it was, I seen comps as high as like 60, 70, 80 bucks, I figured why not. And the ones that I seen that was selling for a lot more money, they actually had like the box and I guess the CD that it comes with. So I wasn't able to shoot up for about 80 bucks, but I did price mine at I think 65, and it sold within about 3 or 4 days after listing it. So something like this is definitely going to be shipped out via pirate ship. If you guys didn't check out that video where I showed you guys how I save money on shipping shoes, I always put anything, it's just not about shoes, anything that's kind of large and kind of bulky that might cost a lot of money to ship via eBay, I always go on a pirate ship and save some money on shipping. And even if this is going to New York, this shouldn't cost me anything more than like $9.50. So I'm definitely going to be using that service to ship these items out, and this was a really good sale for me, because like I said, I just picked this up a few days ago and it sold really quickly. Next up, we got a pair of Vapor Max for women, and I don't even remember the name of these shoes, but I did pick these up from Ross maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago in a size 8, and I got a bunch of other sizes as well, and this is the second pair that sold. So I don't think I shared the first time one of these sold, but I had 2 size 8s and I'm all sold out of that size already. So this one sold for 100 bucks, and I think I picked these up for 50. So after shipping and fees, I'm definitely not going to double up my money, but it was pretty close to it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not always like super focused on always doubling up. Sometimes if I can make 25, 30 bucks on one pair of shoes, I'll take a chance on that too, and that's what happened with these. So I'm actually going to be shipping these out via pirate ship as well, just to save some money on shipping, only because these shoes I think will be a little too big to put in a padded flat rate envelope. Next up, we got a pair of Vans, and I picked these up from Nordstrom Rack when they had that 40% off sale, and I still have a few more in the inventory. I just think maybe 10 or 12 different pairs up here, as you guys can see, but thankfully these have been selling at a decent rate for me. I think these after the discount was probably like $16 or $17, and these sold for $49.99. so a decent amount of profit on this one, and I should be able to fit these in a padded flat rate envelope. If not, of course I'll ship it out via pirate ship, but I'm pretty sure I can be able to get these in a padded flat rate envelope. And this particular colorway, I remember when I first picked it up, I did have my doubts about it because I thought it was a little too much, but at the same time I do know a lot of skaters wear Vans, and some people just wear Vans simply for the different colorways. So I just wanted to take a chance on this, and this is the first one that's sold, so I'm still glad about that. But I still have a bunch of different various sizes and colors in these, so we'll see how long these take to sell out. And last but certainly not least, we got this Nintendo Wii, and this one sold for $89.99 within the same day that I listed it. And like I was telling you guys before, it actually came with that game that I sold for $5, so that game was practically free, and I have all the additional cords and all the other attachments for that as well. But the only problem with this one is the fact that it didn't have the, I feel like it's a flap that's supposed to go on top of this, and that was the only thing that was missing. But other than that, it had the controllers, the attachments, the power cord, everything that you need. And Nintendo Wii, anything Nintendo related is really flying off the shelves for me. Anytime I used to list Wiis before, they would probably sit for a few days and I would never get more than $60. But now, ever since quarantine, these are selling for $80, sometimes a little more, sometimes even $100 if you have some more games and attachments as well. So for me, I flipped mine for $90, and I think I got these for $10 in the thrift store. So that was a really good flip for me, and I'm still just going to try to focus more on games and other electronics, only because I know they're selling so fast right now during this quarantine time. And who knows, I might try to invest more money into some random electronics later on, especially if I can find a good wholesale or liquidation deal. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget that I dropped some new merch. These are just my consistency t-shirts inspired by Nipsey Hussle's Crenshaw shirts. And for me, if you guys follow the channel, you guys know consistency has definitely been one of my keys to success. So I figured combining consistency along with some inspiration from Nipsey was a perfect idea for my first merch line. So hit the link in the description. It's the very first link in there, and you can use consistency 10 for 10% off. That way you can save some money on that tax. And if you guys enjoy the shirts, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And give me the strong. Hey, hey, let's go. Worst back in the day, and so I can't complain. For all the times I pray carnivores don't come take. Cause it's poppin' up opportunists, I can't salute it. They raising red flags instead of raising solutions. I'm trying to do what's best for me. Okay, right hand's on the wall because it's destiny. First time I own, but right hand, man, ain't nothing left for me. I left him, see, you can't hold me back like elementary. What's meant for me